So summer is completely in full swing, and I thought that I would go through a nice goldy summer look, but for pale people. I feel like a lot of bronzers and sort of summer looks tend to be on the kind of orange shade of things, essentially. A lot of kind of tanning, a lot of sort of yellowy golds, which doesn't actually really suit pale people at all. So I thought I would take you through a look that keeps me summer ready even though I'm incredibly pale. I have already done my base makeup. I used, by the way, the Fenty Beauty foundation. This is absolutely amazing. I also used the Makeup Revolution Pro concealer as well, just on a few spots. If you haven't already, check out my Pale and Cruelty-free video about that. I absolutely love this concealer. I have been using it very frequently and this is amazing, so I love it. The first thing I'm going to use is a blush pop from Ciate, and I'm just going to be using this as a blush. When it is summer, I am incredibly light on the blush, just because I go very red-faced. The main palette I'm going to be using is the Makeup Revolution Ultra Sculpt Contour Kit, and it is in Ultra Fair. So for the palest of pale, I'm mainly going to be using this shade and then the highlighter shade. I really like this shade because it's a brown, but it's kind of more of a neutral sort of tone. It still has a tiny bit of warmth in it, but it basically doesn't apply very orange. I'm then going to be using this highlighter, which is a glittery gold highlighter. I'm not going to be using this particular blush. I do really like it, but it just has a tiny bit too much very yellow gold for this look. I have had a lot of bronzers in the past that are very dark, are very on the orange side, and when you have a kind of a pink or a neutral undertone, the orange just looks ridiculous because it doesn't look at all natural. You're essentially trying to fake shadows and shading, and if your makeup is so vastly removed from your actual face colour, it's not going to look good at all. I'm going to take a Real Technique brush, which I cannot for the life of me remember what it's called, but it's basically a tipped brush like this, and go in with the contour shade. So essentially I'm very lightly putting it down. I'm kind of working across here and sort of stopping at kind of like the eyebrow line. But I will say I'm not being overly precise about this. So basically I'm just adding colour to my cheeks. I'm not doing massive amounts of this, by the way. I'm not doing tons. I'm just going to add it to my forehead, partially to cover up the sunburn. If it does look like it's a bit too much, just take your foundation brush and just kind of blend it out like that. So I'm not going for an incredibly intense look here. I am going for light makeup that is giving myself a lot of colour, but it's not super dramatic. The next thing I'm going to take is the highlighter, and I'm going to apply that with, it's actually a foundation brush, and I kind of like that. I'm just going to be applying it on the high points of my face, and how this was an E, this is a C, and I've applied way too much already. It's okay if you apply too much, and to be honest with you, I don't think you can apply too much highlighter. Providing you blend it out properly, I think it's fine. What I do like about having a very glittery highlighter is throughout the day when the makeup wears in, it sweats off, whatever, glitter remains, and I just love that. The next thing I'm going to take is another thing by Makeup Revolution, and this is the Iconic Pro palette. What I'm going to be using is mainly this shade for my eyes because it's a very cool toned gold. I may be mixing it in with something that's, I may be mixing it in with this one. I feel like if you use kind of this shade, a yellowy gold, it is a look, of course, but I particularly don't like using that one too much just because it kind of changed the way my skin looks slightly. I do like using it as an accent, but not all over the lid. And apply that over the lid. When the sun hits this look, it just glitters and looks amazing. To kind of keep a more cool tone, I'm going to be using this matte shade here, rather than kind of those sort of shades where it's a bit too orange. I'm going to go for this one, which is much more cool. It's kind of on the purple side. Just going to be applying that into the crease. I'm not actually doing massive amounts of eye makeup, just because I don't really feel like it. In the summer I like to keep it glittery, but not too intense. The very final thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the Cool Glitter shade up here and then just put that underneath my eyes. The very final thing I'm going to do is just use a bit of setting powder, just because I like to keep sort of the dewy glow that the foundation has made, but I want to make sure that I'm controlling the oil. So I hope you guys like this video. Check out some of these other videos that I've made about makeup looks and about being pale. So I hope you guys liked it. I shall talk to you later. Bye!